All right, welcome. Ever thought about how you could take a real passion for design and spin it into an awesome, flexible career? Well, today, that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to break down the step-by-step guide to building your own successful freelance business in 3D computer-aided design, or as you know it, CAD. So to really get why CAD is so huge, you have to look back at how things used to be done. I mean, before CAD, if you had an idea for a product, you had to build a physical prototype after physical prototype. It was painfully slow and super expensive. The big revolution was taking all of that work and moving it into the digital world. Now, with 3D CAD, designers can create a single, perfect virtual prototype. They can run simulations, test for heat stress, check for wear and tear. All of that happens before a single physical part ever gets made. It's an absolute game changer. So here's our roadmap for this journey. We're starting with the absolute basics. What is CAD? Then we'll pick the right tools, learn how to design for the real world, figure out the money side of things, and finally get you out there to land that first client. Okay, first things first, we've got to build a solid foundation. Let's really dig into what 3D CAD is and the 3 basic ways you can actually create your digital models. You know, every 3D model is basically built using one of 3 core ideas. First up, you've got the wireframe. Just think of it like the skeleton of an object, all lines and points. Then you've got surface modeling, which is like putting a skin on that skeleton. It looks solid, right? But it's actually hollow inside, kind of like an eggshell. And finally, we have solid modeling. This is the big one. It's the most powerful method because it creates objects that have real volume and mass, just like something you could hold in your hand. This is what most pros are using day in and day out. All right, so you've got the fundamentals down pat. Now it's time to talk about your toolbox. Your next big choice is which software you're going to master. And believe me, this is a huge decision for any freelancer. The 2 heavy hitters in this world are Fusion 360 and SolidWorks. Now, if you're on a Mac or you're a student, hobbyist, or just starting out and watching your budget, Fusion 360 is an incredible, really accessible choice. SolidWorks, on the other hand, well, it's the industry giant. It is Windows only and comes with a hefty price tag, but there's a good reason it's the standard in so many big engineering companies. Okay, and this is a really, really important point. Being a professional CAD designer isn't just like art class. You're not just making things that look cool on a computer screen. You are creating precise, detailed, manufacturable data that a machine is going to use to create a real-world object. And to be a pro, you have to speak the universal language of manufacturing. That language is called geometric dimensioning and tolerancing, or GD&T. The best way to think about it is like a musical score for a machine. It gives the absolute exact instructions on how to make a part perfectly. And the official rulebook for that language is ASME Y14.5. It's the standard that makes sure a part designed in California can be made in Germany with 0 mistakes. Knowing the rules is one thing, but avoiding these common mistakes is what really separates the amateurs from the pros. I mean, messy layers just create confusion, and unclear dimensions lead to really expensive errors. And not cleaning up your drawings with commands like PURGE and OVERKILL, which get rid of junk data and overlapping lines, it just screams unprofessional. Mastering these basics makes your work clean, efficient, and valuable. All right, you've got the skills down. Now for the part everyone's been waiting for. Let's talk money. We're going to get into how to price your services and what you can actually expect to earn as a freelance CAD designer. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Well, the good news is these are seriously valuable skills, and the numbers definitely reflect that. So let's break down what you can charge. So a good average hourly rate to keep in your head is around $40. Now that's just an average, right? When you're just starting out, you might be closer to 15 or 20, but a seasoned pro with a really specialized skill, they can pull in over $100 an hour. Okay, now what about bigger projects where the scope is really clear from the start? That's when you'll quote a flat fee. It gives the client peace of mind. They know exactly what it's going to cost. And this can be anything from a few $100 for a simple part to several thousand for a really complex assembly. And those really big multi-day projects, that's where a day rate comes in. It's super common for complex work that might take several days, maybe even weeks. A pretty standard day rate in the industry is going to be right around that $400 to $500 mark. So let's just recap that pricing strategy real quick. You're going to use an hourly rate for those simple, fast jobs. You'll go with a per project flat fee when you know exactly what needs to be done. And you'll use a daily rate for those longer, more complex gigs where things might change a little bit along the way. Okay, you have the skills. You know what you're worth. Now it's time to put it all together and get the work. This is the final, most important piece of the entire puzzle, actually landing that first paying client. And you don't need some crazy, complicated marketing scheme. Here is a simple 4-step plan that just works. It all starts with building a killer portfolio. Then you make sure clients can actually find you. You look for jobs in the right places. And finally, you seal the deal like a total pro. Let's be crystal clear, your portfolio is everything. It is your #1 marketing tool, period. You have to show off your best work with amazing, high-quality images. Think isometric views, exploded views, the whole deal. And this is so important. If you worked on a team, you have to explain exactly what your specific contribution was. Don't just show the pretty final picture. Show what you did to make it happen. And please, remember this. It is so much better to have 3 incredible projects that are beautifully documented with all the details than 7 projects that are just kind of okay. Go deep. Explain the problem you were trying to solve, your process, and the final result. You need to show them you're a problem solver, not just someone who knows how to click buttons in a program. Next, you gotta shift your mindset. Stop thinking of your online profile, like your LinkedIn, as a resume. Start thinking of it as a sales page. Your headline is not your job title, it's what you do for people. See, CAD designer is what you are. Helping startups launch products is the solution you provide. Huge difference, right? Look, don't just spray and pray all over the internet. Focus your energy on the platforms where companies are actively looking for CAD talent every single day. Places like Upwork, LinkedIn, and even specialized sites like CAD Crowd are literally filled with opportunities. Pick 1 or 2 and build an amazing reputation there. And finally, always, always, always use a contract. This isn't about not trusting someone. It's about being a professional. It's about clarity. A good contract protects you and it protects the client by spelling out exactly what the work is, how you'll get paid, who owns the final design, and what happens if you need to end the project early. And that's really it. You now have the entire roadmap, from learning the software all the way to cashing that first check. You've got the skills, you have the strategy, and you know the tools to build a fantastic freelance career. So really, the only question left is, what amazing thing are you going to design first?